Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boy clothes, 1975. Using girls on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long boys clothes, 1975.
Welcome to another arcade versus home port, and in this video I'll be playing Street Fighter Alpha 2 on the arcade, or at least running through MAME, and I'll be comparing it to its home port on, that's right, the SNES, released by Capcom in 1998. Obviously the arcade machine was released in 1996. Now, I can hear you all saying, but why are you playing the SNES version? I mean, why not, you know, obviously play the Saturn version? I mean, I've got gameplays of the Saturn version, I've got gameplays of the Spectrum version, I bloody well wish so, the PlayStation version, but why am I doing it in this series, this comparison to the SNES port? Simply because, I mean, we thought the original Street Fighter games, well, we thought the original Street Fighter, the World Warrior on the SNES, was an absolute phenomenal achievement. I've not done that comparison yet, but I will do. But there's no denying that the fact that someone ported this to the SNES, you know, it's just mind-blowing. It's absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I could have done this against the, you know, the Sega Saturn. Could have done this against the PlayStation. But no, very much in line with this series, I like to go with the 16 or below bit systems. And again, because it's just more impressive, if you know what I mean. And the funny thing is, obviously it was released in the arcade as a follow-up to Street Fighter Alpha 1, or as I knew it because I had the import games on my Japanese PlayStation, Street Fighter 0, which is a sequel and a prequel to the original Street Fighter 2 arcade machine. It contains characters from Final Fight and Street Fighter, well, 1. And yeah, it uses the art style back then, it runs on the CPS2 system, it uses the art style that was used in sort of, well not sort of, was used in X-Men Children of the Atom. So yeah, my first experience on the PlayStation, I absolutely loved it. Never saw it in the arcades, never ever saw it in the arcades. And I do remember when it was announced like it was coming out on the SNES, I was just like, pfft, yeah, that's gonna happen. And I never played it till years later till it was on Virtual Console, and my jaw, excuse me, that's the noise your jaw makes when it hits the floor. Hit the floor. Just like, wow, I cannot believe you've done this and, you know, managed to compact it and fit it into a cartridge. Let's get into this, because I've waffled too much and I want to save some of that waffleage for when I actually play it on the SNES. I will at some point walk my way through all the Street Fighter, you know, sort of arcade ports to the Mega Drive SNES and stuff like that systems. Now, I could have played this in the Capcom collection, but, ooh, got to put some money in. But I didn't want to because it stretched it and I don't want boarded. So I'm playing this on MAME on my original Xbox, which means I got no idea what the button mapping is. But this isn't about how good I am at this. I'm not very good, I'll be honest. It's about what it looks like in comparison. Right, so let's have a look at this. I mean, these are my favourite games. The Street Fighter Alpha series, or Street Fighter 0 series, are my favourite Street Fighter games. I prefer them to 3, I prefer them to 2. Obviously I didn't prefer them to 2 until they came out. But you know what I mean. Oh, bollocks, I talk too much and now I'm Ryu. Oh well, we live, we learn. Right, I think I've got to use not the select. See, it's a Z, because it's 0. I've got to use the white and black buttons. This is going to be interesting. I mean, I love the original Street Fighter graphics. But this, it's just something else. Oh! I mean, it's anime, manga, it's just bloody lush, isn't it? I mean, obviously it's got loads of animation. I guess that would be the first thing that takes a massive... I mean, that took a hit on the PlayStation. I think only the Saturn one is the one that retains any level of that. You bloody teleportation. So you got your race bars at the bottom. That's not going to happen. The background detail as well. It's just so nice. I mean, these games still. I mean, 2D ages better, doesn't it? Oh, here's some of that you like. Ages way better than 3D. That's a given. But this will always look shiny and fantastic. Get some of that in your chops. I mean, I always sound like a broken record when I say that about these games, but this style, the CPS style of sort of, you know, anime, Street Fighter, X-Men, Capcom versus Marvel stuff, just looks absolutely the dog's dangly bits. There's a Harrier in the background. Who remembers those? Not David Cameron, because he scrapped ours, and we had a battleship and nothing to fly or land on it. Ooh, politics. Charlie! Bollocks! There we go, that's what I was intending all along. Anyway, can't play and talk at the same time, but yeah, this is just stunning production, stunning art style, stunning everything. I mean, my first home port and only real experience of playing it was on the PlayStation. It's not until recently when I got my Saturn and stuff, well, a couple of years ago, when I imported it from Japan, I got to play the proper, you know, damn near arcade perfect version. But the PlayStation version, you know, it wasn't like the shit Street Fighter versus X-Men port. It was amazeballs. Oh, I got itchy nose. Oh, sorry, do you think you are Bane? Yeah, it was a really good port. Pales in significance to the Saturn, we obviously know that. But I was trying to do my supercharging punch fireball thing, because that's what it's called. But it was a really good port. And like I said, the reason I picked the SNES one is it should not exist on paper. I think I'm going to be playing it through Virtual Console. I think for some reason, because I didn't remap my, when I did it, store to Japan, I've got a shit PAL version. Or maybe it's widescreened. It's widescreened? I don't know. But, I mean, before I do my comparison on it, you know, play that version of it, I'd love to know what you thought of this game when it first came out. Did you play it in the arcades? Or were you like me? It was kind of, because everyone I knew only got to experience it at home. So maybe you played both? Maybe I should get a white stick. Ah, you bastard. The Xbox pad, excuses, is just not good for dragon punches. Ooh, reversals, counters, stuff like that. Right, let's have a look at the SNES version. So here we go, this is Street Fighter Alpha 2 Warrior's Dreams on the SNES. As I said at the start of this video, I could have done a comparison to either the Saturn or the PlayStation, and never rule out that I won't do that, but to me this is easily the most impressive home port. The fact that they made this at a time where everyone else was jumping ship to the CD-based 32-bit systems, because this 16-bit system, and look at the arcade machine, what, you know, power it had under its bonnet. You've got the cut down intro, right? The graphics are going to take a hit, the colours are going to take a hit, the animation's going to take a massive hit, as is the sound, but look at it. Tell me that does not bear a really good, strong resemblance to the arcade machine. Now, outside of Japan, Capcom distributed this themselves in Japan, but they really didn't care about sort of cartridge-based systems outside of Japan, or that's my knowledge. So Nintendo did it themselves because obviously they were still, you know, pushing the Super Nintendo as a viable system because it was still selling reasonably well. Now, like I said, I played this first time on the Virtual Console and it blew me away. For all its, you know, cuts, faults and things like that, I mean, we thought Super Street Fighter, the new challenges, was the pinnacle of, you know, how good these games could look on the SNES, and then this came along and just absolutely blew our minds. Obviously the sprites are smaller. Now what it does is it uses something called the SDD1 chip for compression, so to do with the graphics, I guess the animation and the sound, which means ultimately, even though it's a cartridge game, it loads. So yeah, true story, no guff. So you'll see that at the start of the fight, after it starts to, it calls fight, and then you'll see it at the end of the fight. It is noticeable, but it doesn't ruin it. But the first time I played it, I think I played it on emulation actually, and then downloaded it on the Virtual Console because I thought it was broke. It was not. Anyway, it got really good reviews. I don't know how big the memory was on the cartridge. I don't know how expensive it was. I know there's only one hidden character in this, but it was just, I mean, if you couldn't afford a CD system at the time and you wanted, this was your only chance to play the then pinnacle, the next step of a Street Fighter, right? Arcade mode versus mode, option mode. Like I said, I want this comparison videos mainly at the moment to be sort of the 16-bit systems and below compared to the arcades. I mean, this is way above Street Fighter World Warrior, but like I said, I don't know, I have a soft spot for this on the SNES because to me it's just incredibly impressive. I suppose I should go for Ryu. I mean, look at that, even the title screen, just for the, you know, the purpose of, you know, comparison to the first part of the video. Again, your sprite's gonna, how do we get white? Oh, balls. Right, speed, slow, yeah. It's gonna it's gonna feel slower even though we set it to the same speed as the arcade. I hadn't noticed that, but yeah, the sprites are gonna be smaller like I said. You know what the differences are gonna be, but tell me you're not impressed. Mr. Burgundy, are you aware you have a massive erection? Nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Don't act like you're not impressed. Points to the quote, sorry I couldn't help myself. Look, whoops, darn it again. See what I did there? Right, see, there's your loading time from the compression. Yeah, it's slow. I mean, we've got it set to the same speeds, and the main ROM I played was the first iteration of it. I want a Dragon Punch, but it does feel slow. But I am so impressed with these graphics. Can I talk? And I want to burn him. Burn! This is just unbelievable stuff. Yes, it does feel slow. I mean, arguably Street Fighter 2 Turbo and, you know, well, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo is the quicker game. There's no denying that. You know, and it obviously Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the SNES is the quicker game. But it doesn't look like this. This is fucking eye butter. Seriously. Now, I was talking so I didn't get to point out the little gap. But there you go. So obviously race bars at the bottom, flickering like a mad bastard. Obviously the backgrounds take a hit. Everything takes a hit. But the point is, this really should not exist. There you go. Decompression. Hope we don't get a bend. On a 16-bit system. And seriously, to the untrained eye, I mean, if you hadn't played it in the arcade, would you even notice the lack of animation? I know everyone's going to say, I would. Again, if you haven't played it in the arcades, oh, you bucket full of fudge. What? I can't remember. There you go, see, there's your... Why is decompressing or compressing or loading at the end of a fight? It's a mystery. If you know the answer, put it on the back of a postcard and send it to LW1. Could never remember the second half of the postcode for Blue Peter. Sorry, that's a very British quote there. What do you got back? I don't know. Why are you worried? Were you? At least your face is still intact. China. It makes you wonder if they programmed Final Fight all those years later, could we've had an arcade perfect version? Oh, basically, just use a bigger cartridge, innit? Jen, was he from he was Street Fighter 1, wasn't he? Look at the background. Obviously, I don't think you're going to have reflections of shadows. Was it reflections in the arcades? See, loading. Too big. Oh, I let him in. Again, broken record. This looks tasty and delicious. If it was a piece of bread, I would dunk it in some melted butter right now. Because that's how tasty and delicious it is. See, to be honest, that's not even... Because I remember magazines back in the day complained about that, but it really isn't a deal breaker. I just would be absolutely blown away to have had this on a SNES if I could not afford a Saturn or a PlayStation. I mean, at the time I said, sorry, I turned my nose up at it because I had a PlayStation. But, I mean, even if I actually got to play it back then and jumped down from PlayStation to it, even, you know, there we go. Even Ickle Dave back then must have looked at this and just, you know, and truly appreciate it for what it is. Both tasty and delicious, as I say. Oh. Bucket full of fudge. There you go. bit of a different comparison video, because the stretch between the arcade machine and this video to the system being the SNES is quite far, but that was the point I wanted to show it, because to me this is absolutely amazeballs. As always, I love to know what you think. I mean, if you had it on the Saturn or the PlayStation or played it in the arcade, I would love to know. But more so, did you have this? Was this the only version you got to play, or just playing it now, all those years later? If you didn't play it back then, what do you think? Can you appreciate it for what it is, which is a fantastic achievement and port? Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.